Hey everyone, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Welcome to the very first episode of Let Love Talk, a segment where I will be calling people from various avenues of life and interviewing them on relationship issues and hopefully learn from their views. So the very first topic at hand is quite controversial, but we have to address it, okay? Does every man inevitably cheat? Alright? Does every man inevitably cheat? Okay. So my very first guest to address this controversial topic is Mr. Musanda Siame, an agribusiness entrepreneur and consultant. He's on the line. So Mr. Siame, how you doing? And welcome to the very first episode, and thanks for gracing us with your presence.
I'm fine, thanks, and I'm glad to be here on the very first episode of a very promising talk show. And it's good to be hosted by you, Mishek, as well, and I hope you're doing great as well.
Thank you so much. I'm doing well, Mr. Siame. I'm so grateful. So firstly, I'd love to hear your personal definition of cheating. What is cheating? Your personal definition, Mr. Siame.
In my own opinion, cheating is having a romantic affair behind your partner's back. So that's the basic definition of cheating.
Okay, so you say a romantic affair, right?
Yeah,
it sounds a little bit broad because some people will find even something as simple as hugging someone or buying someone. Okay, so hugging someone, right? Or buying someone a gift buying someone a gift of the opposite gender as romantic. So would those things be considered as cheating?
Romantic expressions constitute various actions, but they also depend on moral values that are expected of you in a relationship.
Okay.
To some, as you said, just buying a mere gift for someone may be considered to be normal, but it may also be perceived as an act of romantic interest in someone.
True.
So, really, romantic expression is a constitution of so many gestures. So, to others, depending on their culture, a kiss is normal, but to the majority of us, that's an act of romantic expression. So, I would say that would only be described on the basis of what you expect of a person you're romantically interested in or the person you're having a relationship with. Every relationship is set on the basis of different cultural values and moral values.
Yeah.
That's why even the bonding starts from, when you have that thing, like you have common view of what you expect, the relationship cultures. So that's the thing.
Wow, that's clearly put.
Yeah.
Sure, the viewers out there would agree with me. All right. So on to the next one. Why does anyone, in the first place, why does anyone cheat in the first place?
In a general sense, people cheat when they are discontent with the experience they're having in their relationship. So they opt to have that gap filled by a third party. So lack of satisfaction is what really motivates people to cheat on their partners.
Okay. So that is an interesting response. It leads me to asking, is there any percent, because if you're now talking about filling in the gap, right? So is there any percent any percent of justification for someone cheating, right? Because if the motive is filling the gap, is there even a 1% chance of justifying the act of cheating?
There's totally no justification for cheating. When you're not content with the relationship experience you're having with your partner, that's when you now have to end it all. So cheating is never an option and cannot be justified. The consequences of cheating are usually severe. Some people are broken-hearted right now because someone decided to cheat on them. So the cost of cheating is just too huge for someone to justify. There is no justification. The only solution is, if you're not happy, be brave enough about it and call it a quit and move on to what you think will satisfy you now.
So no justification at all. So let me explore a line of thought. All right, a little further, because if you factor in breakup, say someone, okay, let me give you an example. Say someone has been in a relationship for 4-5 years, right? And then something weird happens at a party, for instance, and they kiss somebody for a few seconds, all right? Should that act of cheating, because yes, they've cheated, doesn't matter how long it takes, but they've cheated, should that act lead to a breakup?
Experience doesn't count to some extent. The duration of your relationship is not evidence of happiness. No, people may have been in a relationship just because they have to be there.
True.
Even if they are not happy.
True.
So the fact that you feel like kissing someone else or being romantically intimate with someone else, apart from the only person you should do that with, then that's already a signal that you are not happy and satisfied with the relationship. So whether your act of cheating is brief or not, it's a signal that you are not happy. That should give you something to think about. That should be something to intrigue you about why you did that,
Yeah.
So whether you have been with someone else for a very long time, but you're not still happy, then that counts for nothing. You have to end it.
Beautiful stuff. You have to end it.
Yeah,
that
exactly.
is profound. Boys and girls out there, men and women, I hope you're listening. Mr. Siame is being direct and hitting the nail on its head. Basically, when the signs start to show, when the water starts to leak, then there is a problem. All right.
Yeah.
So when a man cheats, this is what I want to ask you now.
Yeah.
When a man cheats, Mr. Siame, does it always mean he no longer loves the girl he's with? Considering that a man, I'm just being honest here, considering that a man normally by nature works on impulse, so we are more or less, for lack of better terms, more or less wired to be attracted to what we see.
Yeah.
So my example in this case would be, say you're deeply infatuated by this young lady, right?
Yes.
Very attractive and all that, and your impulse just takes over.
Yeah.
You reach out and you kiss this lady. Does that mean you no longer love the girl that you're with?
What you're saying is right. Us men, we are usually attracted to what we see. Nevertheless, that should not give us the liberty to cheat. Therefore, even when you see something that's more appealing, if you see a lady who was more attractive to you and you are tempted to cheat, that's when you have to restrain yourself. That's when love needs to motivate you to apply some self-control in that situation and avoid going ahead with doing what you feel like doing in the heat of the moment. So to some extent, any form of cheating, regardless of how it happened and what motivated it, is an act. It's a loveless act, in short. It's a loveless act, because as far as I know, person who sincerely loves their partner, they wouldn't really cheat on any ground, whether it's an impulsive reaction, infatuation, or anything you may call it or want to refer to it. People who truly love their partners must always at all times be truthful and exercise self-control to maintain their faithfulness to their partners.
Okay. Mrs. Siame is here not letting anyone feel good about cheating, and that's how it's supposed to be. It is wrong, and like he said, it's a loveless act. Right?
Yes.
So yes. Okay. So let me now conclude with the grand question. Okay. Let me now conclude with the grand question. The purpose of this episode. Does every man inevitably cheat? Okay. And as you answer this, I want you to factor in what we touched on earlier about a man being naturally impulsive.
Yes.
Okay. So is cheating something a man has to constantly fight against? Does it have to always, does a man have to constantly tell himself, do not do it, do not do it, do not do it, right? Because of these burning desires.
This is difficult to admit to, but all the signs point to a man being genetically engineered to always have someone to make up for the absence of their loved ones. So it's a constant battle to restrain yourself and remain faithful. The desire is always there. It's something that you have to deal with all the time. You have to really work hard to avoid or prevent per se. So a man being wired to cheat, to some extent, yes. Very few men would disagree with me on that, because we're always on the edge of cheating. So that's just that. What just prevents us from cheating in most instances, it's just a moral restraint where you just have to constantly fight against that desire to do what's unlawful in the eyes of your partner.
I'm glad you brought in morals to this whole disastrous behavior. I mean, like, okay, so Mr. Siame, what's the conclusion here? Okay, I totally agree with what you're saying, but what's the ultimate conclusion here? So is it inevitable?
In a very precise conclusion, without self-control, every man is bound to cheat.
Not my words, guys. Not my words. That's Mr. Siame right there, and that's what it is. All right, without any control, a man is inevitably going to cheat. Oh my! There I have it, guys. That's Mr. Siame's 2 cents. All right, a man will inevitably cheat if all right, he does not fight the edges to do so. And I tell you, these guys out there, the edges are definitely coming. The desire is definitely coming. The desire to mess up is definitely coming, but you have to have self-control. Just like Mr. Siame said, moral restraint, guys, please. Thank you so much for watching until the end. That's if you did. I sincerely hope you learned a thing or two. Alright, guys, so please ensure to subscribe, hit that notification, leave a comment. I would love to hear what you guys have to say about this topic. Alright, and please press the like button. I'll talk to you in the next video.